All right. I'm going to be making my way out to Pittsburgh tomorrow for March Madness. I'm so excited. If last year was any indication, I will come back with plenty of stories and videos of us doing dumb shit. Now, before we decide to do dumb shit, Paul Skenes is the best pitcher of all time. Calvin Ridley is the greatest bettor of all time. And then we'll fill out what may be the last ever March Madness bracket of all time. Let's go. Live from Delaware, it's Hoagies and Pierogis with your hosts, Ian DiCarlo.
We're getting a little double down.
Chocolate Rain, and RJ Hammond.
I just want some more hot tea in my life.
Let's just say he was a good lover.
Okay, let's get right into baseball. Last Thursday was the spring breakout game where all of the top prospects from every team play each other. So we had all of the heavy-hitting prospects that the Pirates have on one team, and it can beat the highly stacked Orioles team of prospects. That's insane. But oh my God, we need to talk about Paul Skenes for 1 second. Him being optioned to the minor leagues, totally understandable. He didn't go over 1 inning pitched last year, I don't think, in his 2 or 3 appearances in Double-A. So that I totally understand. There was absolutely no question about it when we drafted him that he would probably not start the next year with the team. So I'm not disappointed about that. But we have so much to be excited for. Holy shit. I could watch that at-bat to Jackson Holliday on repeat for the rest of my life, and I would never get bored, and I would stare at it like I just saw it for the first time, going like, what? What did he just do? No, forget Paul Skenes' slider or his sweeper, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I still call it a slurve. Forget his fastball even, which he was sitting 101, 102 at. It didn't go any lower than that, I don't think, on a regular four-seamer. That changeup might be his best pitch.
Be something good a manager wants to hear.
System. Been a part of it in the minor league. Spring training debut in Sarasota. Skenes delivered 3-2. How about that? 3-2. How about that?
Was disgusting. That was absolutely gross, in which the way he violated Jackson Holliday. That was holy shit. And then after the game, Jackson Holliday said, man, he could have been throwing 110 up there. I could not believe it. I sat there in the hotel room last Thursday, and I watched this pitch over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure at least 10 times I rewatched it. It was immaculate. I cannot wait until Skenes starts for the Pirates. He does have to build up his workload. I would like to see him hit 6 innings consistently before they call him up, but fuck, he's ready. And I know it was against other prospects, but the Orioles have very highly touted prospects, and it's nothing to sneeze at that he did so well against them. And then what started today? The Korean series. Oh, what a great way to start the day and waste the first 3 hours of work. Game started at 6:05 a.m. I started work at 6 a.m. Guess what I didn't do until about 9 o'clock? Work. It was awesome. It was awesome to see Ohtani get his first hit as a Dodger. But the thing he did that is the most astonishing, at this point, nothing should be astonishing with Ohtani, was he hit a foul ball at 119.1 miles an hour, and it broke through the roof of the stadium that they were playing in. And it's not, like a steel roof. It's a tarp-like material like the Rays have in their stadium. He's going to rip it up this year. Also, something that you don't see every day is a baseball going straight through a glove. Cronenworth got so unlucky. I'm pretty sure this was for the Dodgers to go ahead and take the lead. But Gavin Lux hit it not right at Cronenworth, but Cronenworth could have at least got one out in that situation. But the ball went straight through his glove. You need to tighten up those laces, buddy. This has me hyped up for the season. I am so ready for some Pirates baseball until they start doing dumb shit and start losing like crazy, and then I'll be like, I hate the Pirates. Bob Nutting, sell the team. Let's stick in Pittsburgh for a second. The Penguins had a entire shipment of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads stolen from, I don't know if it was stolen from the truck. Did the truck get stolen? What is someone going to do with 10,000 bobbleheads of Jaromir Jagr? You can't really do much with that. I mean, once you start selling off that inventory, it's going to be pretty obvious that it's you. Okay, let's get into some football here. Holy shit. Kalen DeBoer's contract with Alabama is for 8 years with $10 million guaranteed in the first year and up to $11.75 million in year 8. So at least an 8-year, $80 million deal. That is exactly what Jackson Chourio got from the Brewers as a top prospect making his MLB debut this year. That's some serious money for a head coach, for a college head coach. And then stick with Alabama. Saban said one of the main reasons he left was because the players, let's see here. Nick Saban says lack of class in Alabama's handling of Michigan loss contributed to retirement. So instead of grinding it out for another championship next year, you still have your starting quarterback that got you there, Milroe, and Bama's defense is always going to be good. Bama will always be a top-ranked team in the country. Well, now I don't know so much since Saban left. I don't know how many signings have flipped, but there is a serious problem in college football, and I absolutely cannot blame Nick Saban for leaving. I guess players were coming up to him and being like, hey, like, we just lost, but what can you give me to stay next year? And these coaches have to do recruiting for the players that they already have while also going out and recruiting high school players. That's an insane amount of work. That is way more than double the work. Trying to keep your current players happy with money out the ass. It's kind of getting ridiculous. And I think Rick Pitino suggested that players sign like 2-year contracts with the school. But I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, we've talked about the unionization, and we're going to go over that again later. I don't know if that's a good idea. And there needs to be some separate governing body from the NCAA that manages these players and pays them. Because that's ridiculous. All it's going to be is mini NFL in college football. We don't want that. The XFL has already failed. Speaking of the XFL, the competition committee is actually going through with the new kickoff rules. And, well, they're not going through with it. They're putting it up for a vote. This is from ESPN. Unless it loses the vote, which I think it'll pass unanimously, at least 24 out of the 32 owners have to approve it. The kickoff will be from the 35-yard line, but the other 10 players would line up at the receiving team's 40-yard line. Less of a build up to speed. At least 9 members of the return team would line up in a setup zone between the 35 and 30-yard line. Up to 2 returners can line up in a landing zone between the goal line and the 20-yard line. No one other than the kicker and returner can move until the ball hits the ground or a player inside the landing zone. Touchbacks would be marked at the 35-yard line, and no fair catches would be allowed. That part is kind of crazy. But also, the thing that I actually don't mind that. I actually do kind of like that rule. And we went over it a couple weeks ago. There's a whole bunch of other stipulations for if it lands in certain zones. But onside kicks will have to be declared to the ref, and there will be no surprise onside kicks. So we'll never get another Super Bowl where the Saints open the half by getting an onside kick. That was electric. And we'll never have that again. That will be taken away from us. And I'm pretty sure it's only like in the fourth quarter too, or when you're down. Some dumb rule. And another dumb rule is this hip drop nonsense. Good luck trying to tackle Derrick Henry with a regular tackle and not bringing your weight down to try to get him down. I really think this is so dumb. It's mostly incidental. How else would you get a player down? I don't get it. I know they want to decrease injuries, but players getting injured more is kind of becoming a regular thing, and I think it's just like the human body. I went over this also a couple weeks ago. I just want them to solidify a rule and stick with it for a long time. I really feel like the rules never changed this much when I was growing up watching football. Back in my day. But we need to go over. The FBI needs to investigate this man and see how much he bet on himself going to the fucking Titans. Last week, I couldn't really process it. I saw Calvin Ridley signs with the Titans, 5-year, $90 million, or what was it? Yeah, $50 million guaranteed. Betting odds, -300 to go back to Jacksonville, +200 for the Patriots, but then +1,800 for the Titans. That seems a little fishy. And if you want to put, say, a modest bet down of $5 million spread out over the country, that will return you $95 million. Do not tell me that Calvin Ridley didn't sit there and wait until he officially was unemployed by the league to place all those bets and then sign with the Titans. Don't even try to tell it. There is no way this motherfucker did not bet on himself to go to the Titans. There is no chance. There was absolutely no inkling of news of him or any indication of him wanting to go to the Titans or the Titans being interested in him. No chance. No chance in hell. Investigate him. Okay, other big news. After the Steelers traded away Kenny Pickett for quite a bit more than I thought, they traded for Justin Fields for a conditional 6th-round pick. They had to give up less for Justin Fields than what the Eagles gave up for Kenny Pickett. That is insane. The conditional 6th-rounder can turn into a 4th-rounder based on playing time for Fields this year. He would have to play 51% of the snaps, and Russell Wilson is the starter, so what are you going to do? But this nearly assures that the Bears will go Caleb Williams at number 1 of the draft. Let's go. Patriots still standing pat. There have been reports about them not really being too interested in moving from number 3, but drive up that price. Let's go. One of the biggest remaining free agent pass rushers was signed. Chase Young is now a Saint on a 1-year contract worth up to $13 million. That's quite a bit for him having what can only be construed as a serious neck injury. Let's see what Schefter tweeted out here earlier. Or no, Albert Breer tweeted this. Some background on Saints defensive end Chase Young's deal. Scans on his neck made it tough to find a suitor. No one would clear him on his physical. What? The condition was initially found after he had a stinger last year versus the Browns. He'll have neck surgery tomorrow. And then someone posted a Photoshop picture of him wearing a neck brace, signing with the Saints. That was great. We got a little bit more here. What have they done to the Texans uniforms? Was my first reaction, but then I was like, I kind of like the horns on the shoulders. maybe make the letters red. We got to see what their home uniforms look like in their alternates. But I do kind of like it. I do wish there was a little bit more red in it. It's a little bit too navy for me. All right. Netflix announces the follow-up to quarterback, wide receiver. This should be good. A little bit more drama, I think, of wide receivers' lives. It's set to follow Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Deebo Samuel. It's an interesting group. Last thing we got to go over here before we get into the bracket. Bye-bye, TikTok. It's been a nice 3 months since we've been on the platform. But, yeah, TikTok has been banned by the U.S. House if ByteDance doesn't sell the platform. There's no way they're going to sell it. TikTok makes so much goddamn money. It's insane. They would never do that. But, yeah, I mean, if we're not going to make TikToks, we're still going to be making Reels. Let's go. I believe that's it for the regular stuff. Let's get into the bracket here. All right, then I almost forgot to add this like I usually do with things that I mentioned before and say, oh, we're going to go over this later. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about it because, to be honest with you, I didn't really read the article. And right now I don't have time to read through all of this. So if you want to check out the reason why this would be the last March Madness ever, make sure to go to AP News, and the title of it, and the title of the article is March Madness as we know it could be on the way out amid seismic changes in college sports. Laziness on my part. Let's get into that bracket. Okay, let's get into what we've all been waiting for, what could possibly be the final March Madness bracket. Okay, let's start out. UConn, got to go with them. Absolutely. They won me a lot of money last year. So, UConn, number one, got to do good by them. I'm going to go with FAU here. I know they made it far last year. Of course, we can't really go off of last year's results. That never works. But I'm going to do it again and go San Diego State over UAB, even though I do like the Dragons. What if I pick the Dragons just because they're the Dragons? This one, I like Auburn a lot, actually. They might be my champion. This one, we're going to be in Pittsburgh. Got to go with Duquesne. 100%. Okay, Illinois, I think here, over Morehead State. I don't know much about these teams. I guess I should go and check this stuff. I mean, I don't know what any of this means. Number 1 seeds are 150-2 against number 16 seeds. Last year, Fairleigh Dickinson upset Purdue by 5 points to become the second 16 seed to win in the first round. Woo! Oh, God, I'm so excited. I need Pittsburgh in my body. Okay. Washington State or Drake? Let's go into this one and see. Dude, it used to be so much easier. When you went into this, it would show like the percentage that they were picked. I don't know if it has the same. No, it doesn't. It has their BPI rank and their conference rank, but it does not have the percentage of people that picked what. Oh, that's really weird. Let's go back into that 1 second. Number 7 seeds have won 60.9% of meetings with number 10 seeds. The past 2 years, 7 seeds have won 6 of the 8 meetings. Yeah, I'll stick with Washington State. Let's go. Actually, I like to go by BPI ranking a lot. And they're really close, so this one's a tough one. 42-49. Drake has no experience against top 25 teams, although, again, does not really make a difference. All right, and to round that off, we'll go Iowa State. Pretty chalky, other than Duquesne. This one's kind of a head scratcher in terms of region. Okay, on to the West. Going to go with North Carolina over Wagner. How about Michigan State? I heard slipped in this year, so I'm going to go Mississippi State And then Grand Canyon. I'm taking them. They were my pick last year. I'm going to stick with it. Alabama. Alabama lost last year pretty early, so I'm going to go Bama. I think they learned their lesson. Clemson or New Mexico? This is the first one that I'm like, oh, shit. For Clemson, after an 11-1 start to the season, the streaky team has now lost 3 of 4 to finish 10-10 over their last 20 games. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Just based off that, I'm going to go with New Mexico. 10-10 in their last 20 games. That's not good. You don't want that cold streak going into the tournament. All right. Baylor over Colgate. Dayton or Nevada? Dayton usually does well in the tournament. 24-7 to 26-7. I think I'm gonna go with Dayton. Dayton usually really does well. Arizona here over Long Beach State. And then that was it for the West, so let's move on to the South. Take Houston. I think I'm going to go with Texas A&M over Nebraska. ESPN is trying to hype that up because the athletic director from Nebraska went to Texas A&M. What? Just reaching for storylines at this point. Wisconsin or James Madison. I'm going to go JMU right there. And then Duke or Vermont. Let's go Duke. Texas Tech or NC State. Let's go and see this. BPR rank 23. They're pretty good. I think I'm going to go with Texas Tech. Kentucky over Oakland. Boise or Colorado. Let's see here. Wait, that game's on the 22nd? Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Ignore me. Let's go with Florida there. Maybe if Colorado makes it, I'll change my pick, but I like Florida. Let's go with Marquette. Marquette is always in the tournament, always a high seed. Always does well. 25-9 this year. The Golden Eagles are an aggressive team offensively, evidenced by their high-scoring inside game and defensively with a high rate of steals. Ooh. Marquette falls into trouble at times, which make them vulnerable to an upset. If starters must sit, okay. Well, it shouldn't just go off what ESPN says, but 2 seeds are 141-11. Western Kentucky? You know what? Marquette, BPI rank 14, WKU 159. They are 4-5 against top 25 teams, though, so they're kind of vulnerable. You know what? I'm going to change that. Western Kentucky. Let's go. First big upset. Purdue's not going to lose to a 16 seed again. There's no chance. If they do, I'm going to lose it. And you know what? I'm just going to bet on all of the underdogs anyway. Shane and RJ did that last year, and it turned out pretty decent for them, I think. I think they were up at the end of the weekend. Utah State against TCU. I'm going to go TCU. Gonzaga. Can't count out Gonzaga ever. How about Kansas over Samford? You know what? Brandon, I'm going to go with Oregon. That would be hilarious. That game's in Pittsburgh, and my buddy bought a ticket to go see it. And when he asked us if we wanted to go, we were all like, I kind of want to watch 5 games that I don't care about instead of 1 that I don't care about. So, and then to round this one out, we got Creighton over Akron. I'm going to go with Texas over Colorado State, and then Tennessee over St. Peter's. Let's go back here for a second. UConn, FAU. I hate that it's so chalky. But, I mean, goddamn. You got to have some upsets in there. But fuck. I might switch some of these around here real quick. Let's go Colorado State. Oh, it's going to send me over to that screen every time I switch one. I just need more upsets. That's all I need. I'm going to keep Texas Tech in there. Actually, let's look into this. 23-10 against 22-14. I mean, they're all the fucking same. The last time number 6 seeds won all 4 meetings with number 11 seeds in a single tournament was 2004, 20 years ago. Jesus Christ. You know, I like NC State in that one. Let's fucking go. What else here? I still think Dayton over Nevada. I have a feeling Alabama could lose. Oh, look at that. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? Yeah, I'm going with Charleston. 1-7 in their last 8 games. That's terrible. At least one number 13 seed has beaten a number 4 seed in 27 of 38 tournaments. This is the one. Charleston over... Oh, God damn it. Charleston over Alabama there. We got to keep one region pretty chalky. All right. Round of 32. Got to stay with UConn. I think they've been pretty good this year. Yeah, 31-3. Holy shit. Lost against the Hawks and the Blue Jays, but they beat the Blue Jays. Played Marquette 3 times, beat them all 3 times. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick with UConn there. San Diego State against Auburn. This is a good matchup. You know what? I'm going to stick with Auburn. I really like Auburn this year. Okay, how about Illinois and Duquesne? The battle of the unsounded letters. The battle of the silent letters. Illinois is a high-scoring team. You know what? I'm going to go Illinois here. Sorry, Duquesne. Iowa State, Washington State. This one is the most like, oh, I don't really give a fuck. But let's go Iowa State there. North Carolina against Mississippi State. Take a shot for every time state is said this weekend. Oh, we'd be dead. Number 1 seeds have won 60 of 77 meetings with number 8 seeds. However, for the first time ever, an 8 seed has beaten a 1 seed in each of the past 3 years. How did UNC finish it out? Not that bad. Mississippi State fair. Ooh. Allowing a lot of points. I don't like that. Let's go with UNC. Charleston and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon. Okay, 12 seeds are 9-3 against 13 seeds. Oregon beat UC Irvine in 2019. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Grand Canyon here. Baylor and New Mexico. Have these guys played each other? I don't know. Probably not. Ooh, I feel a sneeze coming on. Woo! All right. I'm going to stick with Baylor here. And then, Arizona always blows it at some point. Not too bad. Let's see here. Arizona 5 BPI. I'm going to stick with Arizona. Okay, Houston or Texas A&M? 30-4. Oh, Jesus. I didn't know that. BPI rank 1. I think they were 1 last year, too. Or at least pretty damn close to it, but I'm going to stick with them. Duke and JMU. Four seeds have won 10 of the last 11 meetings with number 12s. Oregon State beat Oklahoma State in 2021. There's some no upsets yet. Fuck. I'm going to do Duke. Here, Kentucky against NC State. Let's go straight down to the BPI. Okay, scores a lot, but they also allow a lot of points. Most efficient offensive teams, Kentucky is. How about for NC State? 11 of their next 17 games they lost after starting the season 11-3. Holy shit. But they also beat Duke and UNC. You know what? This is going to be the first upset of the round of 32. I'm going NC State over Kentucky. That's pretty impressive. Florida against Western Kentucky. A leg injury to the 7'1" center, Micah Handlogton, in the SEC championship game leaves Florida undermanned up front and without their best offensive rebounder. Oh. You know what? Another upset here. We're sending a number 15 seed to the Sweet 16. Let's go. Western Kentucky beating Florida. I have it. Purdue against UNC. Or Purdue against TCU. UNC. Jesus Christ. Can't read today. You know what? I really just think Purdue learned from their mistake last year, and I'm going to send Purdue in. Kentucky against Gonzaga. This is a tough one. Lost their last 3 games. They're pretty well. Okay. 16-20 in BPI rank. Damn. That's a tough one. Gonzaga scores more. I mean, fuck, that points per game is pretty close too. The only real difference, I mean, even again, well, top 25, KU's 7-4, Gonzaga's 2-3. I'm gonna stick with Gonzaga. How about that? Creighton against Oregon. I don't know why I like Oregon. Seasoned coach at the right time. Whose teams peak at the right time, and that's certainly the case this season. After going 7-8 during the final 15 games of the regular season, the Ducks earned the automatic bid by winning the Pac-12 tournament. I'm going to go with Creighton. Feeling Creighton. Tennessee made it pretty far last year, but I think they had some injuries. Tennessee possesses a strong offense, but defense is their calling card, as it was last year. I think I'm going to stick with Tennessee. Oh, that's so close. I think I'm going to stick with Tennessee here. Okay. I feel comfortable with that. We got 1, 2, 3 upsets. All right. And then Sweet 16. Do I like this Sweet 16? UConn, Auburn, Illinois, Iowa State, North Carolina, Grand Canyon, Baylor, Arizona, Houston, Duke. Yeah, I like this Sweet 16. Let's send Auburn through. UConn, you did well for me last year, but Auburn looks pretty damn impressive. Let's go to their thing here. Elite on both sides of the ball. But their defense is better. Ooh. BPR rank 2 against 4. Oh, man, that'll be such a good game if it happens. I'm going to stick with Auburn. Illinois against Iowa State. What am I going to go with here? I think I'll go with Illinois. Illinois is pretty damn good. 61 points per game, though, from Iowa State. Ooh. This one's tough. Iowa State beat Houston. Ugh. Maybe just because of that, I'm going to go Iowa State. Now, here. I think, you know what? They still have Armando Bacot. They got their 6th-year players. I'm going to go UNC. I don't think UNC made it far last year. And how about this one? Arizona against Baylor. I think I'm going to go with Arizona. Houston, Duke. Let's go with Houston. Let's ride on Western Kentucky. Fuck it. And Creighton against Tennessee. I'm going to go Creighton. Purdue, Gonzaga. Sorry, Purdue. Your run ends. Okay, Auburn over Iowa State. I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. Like it's crazy or something. It's not really that crazy. Auburn beating ISU. Oh, it's weird to say ISU. Yeah, let's go with Auburn. North Carolina over... Actually, North Carolina over Arizona. Houston beats Western Kentucky. Sorry. WKU. And then I'm going to go with Creighton. This is Creighton's year. I'm going to go with Auburn, making it to the championship. And then I am going to go Creighton. But then I'm going to go Auburn as my champion. How many points? Let's say 111. All right. And I think that's it for the bracket. Let's submit that. And fuck yeah. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure to show your support by leaving a like, comment on each video. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips. Well, maybe not TikTok anymore. And then we're available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. Alrighty, everyone. We'll leave you with this. Much.